मेरी देश की धरती मेरी देश की धरती सोना उगले उगले हीरे मोती मेरी देश की धरती देश की धरती देश की धरती देश की देश की देश की देश।
हेलो
हाँ हेलो ब्रो।
भाई लोग कुछ करते हैं ब्रो कुछ करते हैं ब्रो
करते ना
यार
करना ही चाहिए हाँ ब्रो
करते ना
कुछ करते ब्रो।
Hello and welcome to another episode of Kuch Kartey bro. This is our 4th episode, right? So we're very happy that we're still going on. And today we have a very interesting topic that we are planning to discuss upon, something that is very relatable as well.
to every Indian.
And relevant time-wise as well.
Exactly. The timing is just perfect. So we are going to be talking about colonialism, the British colonialism actually, and how it has affected our country especially and the world. If we can recollect about the world, of course. Yeah. So we've been we are doing this topic, which is a little different than a lot of our previous topics, and we've spent some time and taken some effort into understanding things and reading around it. Serious.
Yeah, like we've actually done research.
Yeah. And the thing is, like most people, like all our videos, when I see people coming back and telling us or giving us reviews, right? It's usually always, you guys are so funny, yaar.
Yeah.
You guys are so random.
You guys get that?
Yeah, so you're so random and so funny, and when that was working for us, we've decided to do something serious.
And it's a very relevant topic. Ankit also suggested we do it, and we just took it on board because it's the right time to do it. Like,
because Indians don't mourn death for
God. Yeah, like you said, death is a comedy in India, and I think that's very, very true. Not that we're trying to be insensitive, and again,
but
like
that's the best way to deal with it.
Yeah, because it's just a part of the process. No, you live and you die. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, it just happens.
Just accept.
You just accept
it.
Like
the biggest fact about Indian, like the Indian way of Hindu way of culture, let's say Hindu way of living, not the religious aspect, is acceptance.
Acceptance.
So the faster you accept, the easier it is.
Easier the process is. Yeah.
So that is why, like I heard this in some stand-up or possibly some other video, that whenever you go to like a funeral, there will be 2-3 uncles like talking about politics or talking about something and fucking laugh.
Completely unfazed by what is happening.
And you are fine with it unless it's someone from your family who's like burning in the fire.
So this is very interesting when you said that death scenes in India is usually very funny and little comedic. That reminded me of a small incident. So remember when we had that studio, the Souls project, right? So we had friends who used to go out and shoot and have short films done. So they were shooting this short film in this gaon in Bhivandi, okay? And they had to shoot a death scene. Now, of course, the kind of crew that we were rolling with was very small. And for that death scene, we needed like good 10 people to be sitting around that dead body and cry to shoot the whole scene. But when you look at, मतलब टीवी पे जब भी दिखता है ना तो मस्त लगता है कि हाँ यार ये मस्त सीन शूट किया, बट रियलिटी में कैसा है कि वो बंदे बैठे एंड वन गाय जस्ट वॉक्ड इनटू द सेट एंड वो अभी सोया, उसके नाक में उसके ऊपर एक चादर डाला है, now he's just like he's acting dead and people are around him and they have to cry. अभी हम लोग के पास रोने के लिए पब्लिक नहीं था, so what we did is it was a गाँव. तो आप जैसी you reach there with your cameras and everything, lot of the गाँव वाला people they start coming together to see what is happening. So what these guys did is they asked those aunties over there कि auntie आप आके बैठ सकते हो, we are just shooting, all you have to do is sit and cry. And they are not actors. So now this dead guy is acting dead and all the aunties are sitting around and he say action, रोना चालू करो. And they can't यार, उनको नहीं हो रहा, उनको हंसी आ रही है.
Also first time on camera
वो भी उन लोग हंस रहे पेट पकड़ के. So like यार ये तो अब हो नहीं सकता, how do we shoot? This one guy who is so smart. What he did was he asked everybody कि सब लोग अपना दुपट्टा या पल्लू जो भी है मुंह पे रखो. Now go like laugh as much as you want. And this dead body now is facing it difficult because everybody is fucking laughing. And he has to control it. And it is a dead scene being shot and there is one actress who has to be in that moment who is, क्योंकि sound तो पूरा edit में काट देंगे उन लोग. एंड जब हम लोग ने फाइनली वो शॉट देखा, इट वाज लाइक सब लोग फुट के रो रहे.
That's fucking intense.
क्योंकि आंख बंद करके सब लोग हंस रहे हैं. Only we know कि लोग हंस रहे हैं.
Yeah, and that relates back to death being comedic.
Yeah.
And laughing and crying have that in common because it's a vibration that looks similar. And yeah, when you have experiences like
vibration is intense.
Vibration is
but
similar
just
because vibration has no emotion. Vibration is vibration, right? Anyways, we are digressing again. Digressing heavily into. I think we're segueing into the spirituality topic that we want to do.
But like just to a side note on the thing. So India, like the North India, or possibly Northwestern India, had this concept of rudalis. Okay.
People who come and cry for moon, help you mourn.
So because a lot of people cannot.
That's
mourn.
काफी.
How do they cry, man? Like what? उनके like I always thought of this कि तुम्हारे लाइफ में क्या इतना बुरा चल रहा है कि तुम जाके कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पे रो रहे हो. Like freelance crying कर रहे हो तुम्हारे लाइफ में ऐसा क्या चल रहा है कि तुम like you are so. It's I'm guessing it's a very beautiful service and it helps the people to mourn. But how are you
also
doing
it helps to build the vibe for that whole house.
Of course, it's needed.
So that people don't come and discuss politics.
Yeah.
Like set the vibe for the party. We are mourning now. Okay.
Okay.
And same thing. One more is like in Tamil Nadu there is this thing like
they
when
party.
they party, dude.
Bro, China's the same thing. So Singapore I went to when someone had died in my family friend's building. And they sit there for 8 days around the dead body. They will just drink and party around the dead body and they'll just chill out.
8 days around the dead body, they'll party.
Yeah, so there's like a mandap they make and it's like it's preserved in a cold storage.
Oh, like that.
Fuck
Tamilians का तो खुला रहता है. The body is just tied.
They make the body. They
the body sitting on a
This is like I'm sorry if the fact is wrong, but it's several days. Full Tomorrowland is going on around the dead body. You know, people daga pee rahe, kha rahe. They're celebrating. I love that idea. I love that idea because
dead body सोचता है कि मेरे को जाना ही नहीं है. Party में जाएगा.
Imagine the person standing.
No, it's a beautiful thing. No, like imagine like if the soul is watching. They're like, okay, these guys are happy. Anyways, I am free from suffering. Like I can go now. These guys are happy.
Anyway,
back to.
Okay, so I don't know how we address the Queen passing, but the Queen has passed, and we all know that. And that's the timing that we've chosen to do this episode, is because we as Indians are not we'll never be able to make peace with the fact of what the British Raj has done to this country, and where the country was left when they left. And,
but one thing I'm really grateful to the British, especially the Queen and her death, is the memes that she left us with. I mean, such fucking beautiful memes that people have created. I don't know where this came from, man.
Yeah.
Death was memes, and I'm like, fuck, this like 2 days of entertainment is just memes. And I think we should read some memes, man.
Yeah,
I think we should totally, yeah.
So I think the best meme is about Prince Charles, because as working professionals, we are like, अबे काम दे दिया यार अभी, मतलब मैं chill कर रहा था और अभी काम दे दिया मेरे को.
And the one with the Kenyan television, was it?
Oh yeah.
Where, like Prince Charles is the new queen.
This episode that we are doing is very different for us because we thought of doing something that's so sort of factual.
Has to be factual. Please don't fact check us.
Yeah.
Because we are not.
No, you can fact check us and you can correct us if there is something.
Yeah, you can put it in the comments that if we are wrong about something, and if you know better, please do let us know.
And if you have interesting anecdotes about this topic, you can always go ahead and share them too.
So what's interesting is when the British came to India, the GDP of like India was 23% of the entire world's wealth.
Yeah.
Which is equivalent to what UK is now. It is more than what UK is right now, and the US.
No, it is not UK. It is US now and
all of Europe. Oh yeah, shit. I took time to absorb that fact, and you're right. It's the entire Europe and US. Not together, but individually. And that's fascinating. And by the time they left, we were at 4% of wealth. 90% below poverty line.
But I think the Queen died of this news. Like, we have surpassed them as the fifth biggest economy.
Oh shit,
Finally.
Samma lag gaya usko.
Yeah, UK is
Oh, what a
finally
way to
getting
mark
us.
this.
Yeah, so we have surpassed UK. We are a bigger economy than
Wow.
them. So,
And
they
I-
face.
Yeah, and like
In your grave.
for some reason, but for some reason it doesn't even feel like a proud moment because India should have surpassed UK long
No,
back.
bro, it's just 77 years. And we were at 4%.
Yeah.
We are the
Exactly.
fifth biggest
No,
economy.
I said
now.
I'm not proud that it surpassed UK. I want it to surpass China and US but you're right.
That's
from where
that's
we
going to
started,
happen.
from where we started at 4%, it's a leap that we've taken, and thanks to technology.
Also, see,
and
70 years में इतना करना
बहुत बड़ी बात
बहुत
है.
बड़ी बात है from what we were left with.
Yes.
ठीक है.
Yes.
Firstly, that there are other countries that have done better. ऐसा बोल
Of course,
सकता
of course.
But India has done like considerably a good amount of work has gone into building it. Like the whole globalization and the technology, like Rajiv Gandhi's contribution in bringing technology into the country. So that is like a big heads up in the 175 years of ruling that they did.
200? No.
Yeah, well, 175, 200, whatever. Let's say.
Okay.
So they took out 45 trillion US dollars worth of money from us. I mean, in terms of
That
goods,
figure might be up
commodities.
and down, but
Yeah, but 45 trillion.
trillion. Yeah.
That's the biggest loot that they have done ever in, like any country has done from benefited from any other country.
An interesting fact.
The word loot.
The word. So the word
loot itself
it was
is-
called plunder apparently, and the word loot was taken from Hindi.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yo, we like this, we resonate with this.
It's cool.
Like I calculated it, like broke it down per year. So it's 25,000 crores per year.
Wow.
25,000
At that time.
At that time.
Can we please just address the positives? So there are people, even our websites and our blogs, there are people who say, oh, these are the positives that British gave us. Like for instance, they abolished sati. They brought the concept of equality. They brought the concept of democracy. But I think that's fucked because even if you look at a corrupt politician, he cannot do only bad. Nobody can do only bad and get away with it. They have to do PR. Like suppose there was an actor who drove his car over a few people on the sidewalk. Then he had to start a PR company and he had to call himself human. Just to, so this is...
compensate.
Yeah, so that positive also is a very small byproduct. And...
see, I think sati was... Like, the point kya hota hai na? Ki everything that is... Like, every wrongdoings in the society has a certain amount of time till the time it's... till the time it is accepted कि ये normal है. जैसा कि for example talking about rape and shit, like मैं तेरा rape कर दूँगा, like was normal back.
It was, it was.
Like
till it really
now you cannot just do that. So that automatically happens. People do that by themselves. Okay, because there's some kind of.
And these guys just take credit for it.
So this was happened. मतलब सती एक टाइम पे वो जाना ही था. ठीक है, because वो उसका एक background अलग था and it would have been eradicated from the society by itself. UK, जो Britishers what they उसको accelerate किया. ठीक है, तो removal of it.
And they took credit for something that
so
would have happened.
I think Rajaram Mohan Roy had a big role in eradicating sati, no? So he had a big role. So वो भी है, मतलब it went hand in hand. But I think, for example, if there was a research that was done in the UK, because they do research for every fucking thing. But yeah, good research that उन लोग को बोला what is the sympathy towards them being a colonizer for the world. मतलब how do you think that has fared for them or possibly everyone? So 32% of the population they think that it's okay.
Yeah.
That's because
and 90% only are ashamed of it.
Yeah, and they take pride in it.
The problem is why if you look into it, because the way we are taught history, right, is very different. The way they are taught history, they are not. In their history books, there is nothing about them going out and colonizing countries or how they were,
nothing about
abolishing human
Bagh,
rights.
They are not taught
Nothing.
about Jallianwala Bagh.
They are taught in a very different manner, and most of them don't even know the kind of ripples they created in the
is
world.
written by the winners, and in their scenario, they are the winners.
That's happening in our country also.
He's
being
fair
written as
enough.
the winners.
Like
coming back to your point that let's fair what are the positives and stuff like that, right? So ऐसा बोलते हैं कि they have tried to create harmony, like the religious harmony and social harmony.
That
is the biggest myth.
Lie, yeah. Because they are the one who separated the
They are the one
They had
who
this
divide
three
and rule.
policies.
Yeah.
Divide and rule has been
The
in our
main
books
policy.
because of them in the
Yeah,
first place.
yeah.
We are still suffering because of that.
Like we were discussing before the episode, Mughals, Marathas, Hindu traditions, they were living side by side.
Yeah.
Because India's always been, like this word secular came into the picture after we had to justify it.
Yeah.
Because India's always been a land of many. There were like 20 nations or how many, but 200 nations within the same land.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's very accommodating and it's a very, because nobody was that greedy. It's only when European people or the British came is their greed of conquer. And I would like to stop myself there because I can go on a rant now.
No, but it is not even about conquer, I believe. It is about how. So basically, like Ankit said previously, ki Mughals came here and they treated
Integrated.
they treated it as their motherland.
Yes.
They had children who ruled the nation later. And they treated it as their motherland, and they did good for their society, for the region,
for the kingdom that they were handling.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Yes.
But what the Britishers did was, उन लोगों ने rule किया, they drained us out. They took all the money back to
exactly. It became a cash cow for them, and all the money just kept going back, and that's how Britain got built.
Exactly.
And
Britain got built, Scotland got built, and the Britishers who were like the officers who were sent to India for the work were the highest among every other place that they were sent to.
Yeah.
Highest paid, sorry.
Highest paid, yes.
So that like possibly gives us like an idea कि कितना मायने रखता था इंडिया हम लोग के लिए. 45 trillion is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
45 trillion.
Countries are not even right now that rich.
Yeah, but Apple has like recently, companies have recently just reached the $1 trillion.
$1 trillion mark.
So that's a lot of money. I was trying to write down 45 trillion and try to divide it. I could not. So I was like, Google, what is 45 trillion divided by 175 years?
Nice.
So that is how I got the calculation. Because I do not know how much.
How many zeros are there?
After billion, तो पता ही नहीं मुझे क्या. So that is like how much can you drain out of a system?
Yeah,
and that system still beats you. Is the like it's like a really shame puppy shame. Bro.
Expectancy had come down to 31%, 31 years of age, because of the constant famine. And Winston Churchill, Mother Chot, he said that it does not matter that the Indians are starving.
Exactly.
We have bigger problems to worry about.
Yeah, I mean the comment about Bengalis.
My
God. Fuck that video about Shashi Tharoor quoting Churchill. And fucking the whole scene, like how
and he went to Oxford
University, how British and like owes us reparations, and in the end he said that we don't want your money, a single sorry would do, and that is the biggest mic drop in the history of England.
Because there are still those fuckers going on talk shows in Britain and all. They are saying we should not view imperialism as a bad thing. Like, are you fucking out of your mind?
That's because you're on the other side of it.
But even if you're on the other side, are you mentally retarded people are actually better.
The biggest thing that British British ever have given to the society, like civilization in general, is industrialization, right? That is where it started. But everything that built industrialization came from India. सब कुछ यहाँ से जाता था. So basically यहाँ के industrialization को उन्होंने drain करके वहाँ पे बनाया.
यहाँ के resources को
all the countries also that they were handling apart from India, a lot of resources, be it human power, be it spices, be it food, everything came from India. Clothes, sab kuch.
Because that money only reached from India to that central piece of shit land,
plus
and then,
raw materials, goods, to handle everything. India became the part of it.
Like Europeans in general have this philosophy or possibly way of living, जहाँ पे and like the whole system also encourages that. They think the sun revolves around them.
Yeah.
Recently, our external affairs minister Jaishankar had visited like a conference out there in, I guess it was in Europe only, and he was asked, what is your stand on India and China if there had been a situation where you had to choose कि किसके साथ देगा, तो who do you support? Because if you support the US, then you will have because West में क्या होता है कि Europe and US resonate on the same scene. ठीक है. And east में क्या है, China is a China and Russia, because Russia and China have a big क्या बोलते हैं rift between them, but they are still going well क्योंकि एक दूसरे को तुम लोग का चल रहा है साथ में बिजनेस. सो उन लोग ने डिवाइड कर लिया ईस्ट एंड वेस्ट को कि तुम लोग किसको सपोर्ट कर रहे हो. तो जयशंकर ने क्या तोड़ जवाब दिया. बोलता है कि तुम लोग को ना यूरोपियंस को लगता है कि आई हैव रिटन दिस डाउन. यूरोप्स प्रॉब्लम्स आर द वर्ल्ड्स प्रॉब्लम्स एंड वर्ल्ड्स प्रॉब्लम्स आर नॉट यूरोप्स प्रॉब्लम्स. दिस हैज हैपेंड अगेन एंड अगेन when there were problems of क्या बोलते हैं refugees, when there were problems with other countries facing war, they wanted some kind of क्या बोलते हैं benefit, like a monetary benefit from them, some kind of help from them, not even benefit. They always refrained from doing it, helping other countries.
Like with Syria,
other non-European countries.
Non-European countries, of course.
But I might be wrong, but Germans took over Syrian refugees as well. No?
Yeah, they did. मतलब they were asked to. So the whole European Union, उन्होंने क्या किया? They made a rule that they have to, according to your scale of economy, you have to let some percentage of people in as refugees. The whole reason why Brexit came into being was the whole controversy, ना? कि Brexit में उन्होंने full एक propaganda चलाया कि अगर ये immigrants आ जाएंगे तो तुम्हारा job अब चले जाएगा. ठीक है, इफ यू वांट देन वोट फॉर द ब्रेक्सिट थिंग. तो ब्रेक्सिट में भी जिसने वोट किया है ना, these are old age people firstly who get manipulated easily. Secondly, these are people from rural areas
who have no education,
not much education, not much understanding of how the politics work, and full propaganda पे जीता है ब्रेक्सिट. मतलब उनका and it like उन्होंने काफी मार्जिन से भी जीता है and they have gotten fucked like left right.
So Brexit has happened and what
in
happened?
2020. So Brexit का whole funda is European Union is like a union of some I guess 10 to 12 countries in Europe. So उनमें क्या होता है कि they have free trade, they can move around in the country.
Yes.
Basically एक दूसरे का deficit को suffice करता है, right? So that is a whole concept of Europe, and also the fact that now every other country have freedom now, right? Well, they are independent
countries. Yeah.
Now every other country who have become independent, now look at their scale. ये सब झाट भर के छोटे छोटे कंट्रीज हैं. Look at India, look at Africa in general, every country in Africa, उन लोग बहुत बड़े countries. How do I put up to that scale to like merge together, become a European Union?
Yeah.
ठीक है, and उसके साथ then become like a superpower as European Union. So that is the whole idea of European Union in shorter context, जितना मेरे को idea. So Brexit में हुआ, उसके बाद now everything in UK is expensive. They cannot just travel to any other country like so easily in Europe, and a lot of people who पहले क्या होता था कि यूरोप में अगर तुम कहीं पे भी जॉब चाहिए तुम फ्रांस चले जाओ, इधर चले जाओ. अभी they have to find jobs there
within them.
Also, lot of people 90%
plus you are paying more taxes now on goods and everything.
And Indians going there, intelligent fucking Indians taking all
the jobs over there. Not just jobs, bro. Businesses. You look at like in UK.
South Hall
find this. Dude, desi people are running all the convenience stores, the corner stores, shops, newspaper agents. They are all desi people.
I had a friend who was sent to UK for some assignment, so he had to live there for 3 years and stuff like that. So basically उसका company काफी बड़ा कुछ MNC and possibly headquartered in UK and stuff. So and this is like a proper Indian guy who's very good with IT. फटेगा, and he's a person who used to do a podcast also sometime back. उसने अचानक से चालू कर दिया. It did not fare well, possibly उसने कुछ ज़्यादा सोचा नहीं, just started doing it. So वो UK में गया, वो काम करने लगा, और of course he's a well spoken guy, okay, like really good. IT के बंदे लोग थोड़ा सा इंट्रोवर्ट रहते, ज़्यादा बात नहीं करते, स्पेशली इंडिया के बाहर जाकर तो नहीं करते. तो he's unlike them. तो वहाँ पे जाकर ना he will never get promotions, he will never get a say in anything. So fortunately for him, his counterpart in India, like a guy in the process, the same process I believe, was in India, and he had come from UK position. He has left the UK position, come to India. उसने बोला, bro, you will never grow there. Because UK people will never let
there's
you
a ceiling, yeah.
There's always a ceiling there, and the point is you will always have to be headed by a British man.
Yes.
So that's the most fucked up.
Bro, I realize
because they know that
that's the thing in every country.
Because they look down upon us.
Of course, bro.
Every country, bro.
So when I reached the Australian airport for the first day I landed in Australia, and then I stayed for 4 years. the immigration lady is like, not you fuckers again, loudly. People are just like rats, like they're just walking like this. Oh, humko to visa chahiye. Like fuck, whatever, I don't care. You abuse me. And I was like, are you fuck? Where the fuck have I come, bro? I've taken a 25 lakh rupees loan to be here. My dad has sold a house to be here, and I'm going to work for you. And after those 2-3 incidents, I understood that it's me for myself. Nobody's gonna save me.
Yeah.
But that's intense, bro. Like
and Australia is a little high on these comments.
I
they
think so, but I think they're all like that. I think just because Australia is a very British kind of colony, no?
Mm-hmm.
So it is like one of the most closest to the British colony. Like US has taken off its own. US has its own problems, but Australia is very British oriented. But they look
US
up to
has
the
just
US.
come out. मतलब अभी तो बहुत सारे videos आ रहे हैं surfacing about racism. And you know the funny part is the US Indians are मतलब doing all the shit to Indians. And I can't like imagine तू उधर जाके तू कम Indian नहीं बन रहा है.
Bro, my cousin, I just told you guys, my cousin came from the US, and some topic came up, okay, about godmen being conmen. So we were talking about this around the dinner table, just in the living room, and I told her it's the US's fault, and she fucking got triggered. I knew I'm gonna say this and something's gonna happen. I told her it's the US fault because they are the ones portraying. Even though I know there are godmen who are conmen, they are there, but I just wanted to see what happens. And bro, they defend the United States like nobody's business, man.
Okay, they have been living there since when?
But bro,
like
वो एक
20,
होता है
13,
मतलब
15 years, 20 years.
so इतना साल हो जाता ना, they live in a pseudo bubble, मतलब एक bubble रहता है,
Not proper bubble.
proper bubble है जिसमें ना वो एक अलग दुनिया बन चुका है about their US
And they have to justify it because they can't sleep at night otherwise.
and they fall first for all the Indian political propaganda. They fall face first, like before even Indians do.
So एक comment था कि the biggest chutias who believe all the political propaganda are the literate ones. And highly literate people who fall for all the shit, and especially the ones who are not even living in
India.
So yeah.
But anyway, talking about the whole British colonialism, right? I was like, matlab, they were always known for their navy, like their naval might.
Like even back then.
Yeah, like that's what they were always. That's how they conquered everything, and they were always these sailors kind of people.
Yeah.
And like when we're talking about, even they were ruled. I mean, they had the Roman Empire in Great Britain first, like 7th or 8th century, and then
they had the Roman Empire.
The Roman Empire. It was a part of the Roman Empire, Great Britain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that is somewhere around the 7th or 8th century.
Okay.
And from there they went back, and then the Vikings came in, and then they fought, and then a lot of states they formed together, fought, and then they became what they are. And from there they started building on their navy first, because again it's an island surrounded with water, so they felt like, okay, the first thing we need to work upon is have a navy. So that was, I think, a huge moment in their history, where before all the other countries, they started working on their naval might. And which helped them to travel across, go explore, find countries.
Columbus naval might has to
Columbus का अलग scene है. So
वो individual है.
नहीं, but उसका भी scene एक अलग ही part of the history है. But इन लोग का क्या था कि इन लोग ने ये पूरा build किया, and then they started going out. Now even before the Britishers, right? Spain and Portugal had started colonizing. They were the first country somewhere around 15th century, right? They had started going out. Like the Spain first started out. And then they started going on to these countries, and then the Portuguese started, and Columbus was a part of, I think, Spain, if I'm not wrong, or one
I
of
was
these
actually
two.
going to confirm it because I don't
No,
think...
it's one of either Spain or Portuguese, probably Spain itself. So he went out looking out, that he was like, okay, I think it was Portuguese or Spain. Okay, anyway, one of the two. Spanish, right? Yeah. So he set out.
Sorry, it was an Italian expert. I'm sorry.
But
part of the Spanish
group, yeah. So he was sent out to look out for, and when he reached the country, he was looking for whatever, and he reached this place, which was, I think, one of the islands of US's territory, and he was like, "This is India" or whatever, and this is America. No, this is India.
He went to search for
India, and he reached there, and then he realized that, ठीक है, मेरे को ईस्ट जाना था. ठीक है, but मैं यहाँ पे पहुँच गया. His idea was that कि मैं ऐसे नहीं जाऊँगा. So Portuguese used to travel from the Cape of Africa to reach east. But Columbus बोला, मेरे को ये नहीं करना है, मैं ऐसे जाता हूँ, west से जाऊँगा. ऐसे और वो उसको पहला कंट्री जो मिला that was
US.
The US land.
and he's like I guess this is India.
The Americas.
You know? And then वहाँ पे he realized कि ठीक है मैं भले इंडिया में नहीं पहुँचा हूँ but this place also has exactly what I wanted there and nobody's resisting my presence over here. So this idea of nobody resisting it became the baseline of any country going out and colonizing. Getting it?
That's
and
how
the,
invasions.
Yeah,
You know,
and the power and beauty of Britishers is that they never really they had this entire system. Like people went out, saw resources, okay, I'm gonna rule this or whatever. No. Britishers always came up with trade ideas. Their entire pitch was to, let's trade, this will help both of us. And they easily got into the system, then
Sales
started
fucking
influencing and slowly,
Scam.
scammers. And then slowly, and then they built up. And then suddenly you realize that, oh fuck,
No, I think
nothing
they
is with
started with trade, and then when they saw that these guys are so friendly, like they're so open to
And then they get them
acceptance.
dependent, like addicted to. So basically, there's this very good story I heard about Christopher Columbus in Joe Rogan's podcast. ये जो बंदे का नाम क्या है? The black scientist.
Neil deGrasse.
Neil deGrasse. He was telling, I'm sorry. So he was telling a very good story about how Columbus, so basically, जब Columbus वहाँ पे गया, so of course it's like he find the Native Americans, right? Native Indians. तो वहाँ पे उन लोगों को they started like falling short on food and stuff like the Britishers. So they wanted to get this food from the Native Indians. So how do you get it? तो उसने बोला कि if you and of course they had some kind of science background. उन लोगों को थोड़ा understanding था कि how astrology works and how the sun, moon and the lunar eclipse everything works. तो उसने बोला कि if you don't give us so वो बोला कि our God is bigger than your God and if you don't give us food then our God will fucking eat the sun. ठीक है? तो इन्होंने बोला कि वी डू नॉट हम लोग बिलीव नहीं करते ये वो करके एंड बोला कि फक ऑफ वी विल नॉट गिव यू फूड. तो इन द नेक्स्ट 1 week ये होने वाला था. दैट इज व्हाई ही गिव द स्टेटमेंट एंड एक्लिप्स हो गया एंड देन उनकी गांड फट गई. नेटिव की गांड फट गई. उन्होंने सब कुछ दे दिया. टेक एवरीथिंग.
Wow, that's interesting. Also, Joe Rogan, I don't believe anything on his podcast because he उसका 2-3 लीडर है.
नहीं वो ठीक है ना but the
Neil deGrasse
is a legit guy.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Scam level 9,000 follow. And even sorry, but just this we were talking about how invasion, they did the sales pitch, they did the scam. They did the same thing in India, the inferiority thing. It's like you guys don't know anything, we are better than you. Learn our language, learn our ways, look at how we live. That's the trip and we are still dealing with it.
Dude, a lot of people on the internet बोलते कि बेंचो it's better that they taught us English. And because it's a global language, I like shit English. English does not have
English is
any
a
emotion.
fucking lame language.
The problem is that
the fact that we're speaking it right now, it's very hypocritical. But we accept this. We accept the hypocrisy.
It's become a part of life. And
it's become a part of life. We can't deny that.
Of course.
But English is such a limited language.
Yeah.
It is so limited that you can only express the external world. It's,
no, but you can't even express that, bro.
No, but it's only for that. It's only limited to
every language in India has every word for every emotion.
Everything.
That we
Yes.
That's human space.
That's what internally you can express emotions so much better with
so many words that they borrowed also from us,
everything
so
is borrowed,
many
bro.
words.
Bhatra, mother. Bhatra, brother.
Varanda.
Bungalow is Bangla.
Loot.
So, now since the couple of days that I've been researching about what British colonialism is and how the West has influenced the world and what they have their contribution to Indian culture in general to the world. So मैं ऐसा पढ़ रहा था and there are a lot of people who believe that imperialism is good. They say that कि how they gave us
benefited us.
कि firstly they civilized us. We were cavemen animals. ठीक है. Secondly उनको है कि they gave us democracy, the idea of democracy. They gave us the idea of systems. They gave us the idea of civil service, and as if we were in a system which did not have anything. We were
no head and toe to it. Yeah.
We did not have we were a country of more than 1,000 kingdoms, and which ran in such an efficient manner. We gave gutter systems to the world possibly.
Harappan civilization. Way before that,
way
actually.
before. So like what do you think like is in the general life that we have? तेरे को क्या लगता है what is the biggest European influence? For me, like the toilet system, the biggest fuck all scene, but so used to it, and the second thing is the language.
I think the toilet system just gives us a better medium to watch memes while shitting.
No.
I think that's the only advantage it's given us, which is fucking us in return.
But we watch a lot of Queen memes now.
While taking a shit.
Watching shit.
Watching shit while doing shit. So
rock music is one good influence that has come from the British people. Like,
but you know, if
all the best like guitar, like rock bands actually have a root.
We haven't gone deep into it, but maybe I'm thinking like this music has come from roots, like much deeper roots, because the tanpura, the sitar, and they have like riffs. Sitar has riffs, okay, like
of course.
they have riffs. They just invented a electric form of that sounds more raw.
So with us,
not raw, dirty.
Yeah, with us we have this classical music. So in classic, my brother.
Classical music, every culture has.
No, like our scene is that like मतलब अपने यहाँ पे with the singing हो गया या फिर strings हो गया anything. Like my brother always tells me that if you meet a classically trained singer or a player or any instrument player, they have no room of going wrong with pitch or anything. Right? So yeah, it could be an influence from us, but most of the major rock bands that we listen to and have
modern rock bands. I mean, rock music, I guess,
you know,
in general.
Yeah, and a lot of those bands actually originate from the UK.
Yeah.
Yes.
They moved to US and then got themselves commercialized.
Yes.
You know, that's how it has always been. एक language से Sanskrit से बहुत सारे language है. There is a mother music उसमें से बहुत सारे अलग-अलग बन गए and whatever they individually are good.
Like this kind of music, like the parts that they've got out of it are the instant gratification parts. It's like the Instagram of classical music. Because it'll give you that emotion every time. Like it'll give you that wow, like you know, it gives you that power emotion. Like they've got those parts of classical music and like build a whole culture on it.
No, but there are certain genres. I would not agree to this part because there are a lot of genres which focus on certain types of effects that this particular music has on us. So, like for example, a rock music, there are a lot of rock music which
there's so many types of bro. I just found out there's like death metal, there's thrash metal, there's so many types of. I mean, I knew these things, but I mean, I forgot which one I found out about recently from a different podcast. But there's so many variations, and they all like associated with ideologies as well. Like not just the music, they are associated with ideologies. Yeah, I'll try to remember what that.
But one thing is, like when it comes to music, I would really like Beatles, and they gave us. For me, I am really a fan of the lyrics that they have.
Because it's not a Beatles.
Beatles is great, but I just don't listen to it.
Is something that
I don't listen to it.
Like a zone, and like certain zone that I'm talking about. When I get there, I want to listen to Beatles because that is when I can actually understand what they're saying, or possibly I am putting a meaning to their words.
Yeah, that's most of it.
And because Beatles is like all the music that they made is not very like a complex kind of music. It's very plain and simple and stuff like that. But it still got relevant. It still got big because it could resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah, it's approachable for a lot of people.
So, but the meaning of the lyrics, or possibly even if they didn't intend to, but it is pretty deep.
Yeah, but my only problem when I listen to Beatles songs is they all kind of somewhere I feel like same क्यों बजा रहा है बे?
But that is the same thing with rock music. That is the same thing with techno music also. Techno में भी सब यही बोलते हैं. But you have to listen to some.
I guess
see, I've heard different rock bands, but then
it's like beer. देखो acquire करना पड़ेगा taste.
But no, and you're right. They end up being the same because it's the same flavor. In classical music, it's like defined by ragas and like there are rules to it.
A Beatles music because there has to be a style.
Taste, like a
jingle चल रहा है मतलब वही एक वाला feeling.
वही taste होगा तो तुम सुन के पता है ये Beatles है.
But also Pilla, I don't think you've heard a lot of the Beatles songs like your brother must have heard.
Yeah, of course.
He must have like delved deep into it. He knows all different elements.
You should watch this movie called Yesterday. I watched it.
Did you watch it yesterday? Sorry, bad joke.
So basically, the movie is about a world where अचानक से कुछ हो जाता है, some natural calamity or something happens, and Beatles is removed, like gone from the history. मतलब लोगों को पता ही नहीं Beatles exist करता but one guy.
अच्छा.
एक बंदे को always plays these songs and उसको याद है सारा and then he starts putting out the songs and people think that he's the guy. So it's a fucking and it's an Indian guy. Okay. So बहुत ही फटी मूवी है मेरे को तो बहुत and that is what got like gravitated me into the whole understanding what Beatles is and stuff like that. बहुत अच्छा लगा मेरे को.
Fair enough.
So yeah,
rock music.
Rock music in
so that's one of the influences that we have.
Spoke about civil service. I mean, like for the police system or possibly IASS collectors and stuff. That is a system that they got it.
They got it, yeah, of course.
I personally think that's a good thing. मतलब someone has to watch the watcher. I mean, government को भी देखने वाला कोई चाहिए. Although it does not help, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. मतलब on paper it is good.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good contribution. But what do you think? Do you think India has any influence on the world?
Oh,
what
dude,
are your takes on it?
That's a wrong way to ask that question.
I think everything has gone.
I think, yeah, I think that's a very...
No, that's this one thing, like the world is going to be brown. Like,
the world is internally brown, they don't know it.
Dude, like वो scene है bro, मतलब जैसे UK का strategy था कि मैं trade करेगा, इंडिया का strategy मैं odd jobs करेगा, मैं सर्विस करेगा, मैं पटाएगा तुम लोग को, मैं बच्चे करेगा तुम लोग के साथ और आज से स्टार्ट लॉन्ग टर्म खेल रहे ब्रो
अगर सारे कंट्रीज के सारे इंडियंस एक टाइम पे स्ट्राइक पे चले गए ना
लोड़े लग गए पूरा
सब कुछ था सर सिक्योरिटी गार्ड से लेके टैक्सी ट्रक्स रुक जाएंगे वैसे कनाडा में और हम नहीं चलाएंगे वैसे
ओ पूरा मिडिल ईस्ट बंद हो जाएगा
बट एक चीज पूरा लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट तो उससे मेरे को याद है स्टॉक मार्केट. So British gave a stock market. So East India Company was the first company in the world to start like an IPO. उन्होंने मतलब ऐसा कुछ सिस्टम मैंने सुना था. So that is how the stock market.
But who were the investors? Like Indian people were investing?
No, of course the people out there.
Oh, okay. They were investing in East India and
so
East
that
India
they
was
can
exporting.
they could go out, get money and then they could
like rape people everywhere and
byproducts.
But there's this thing about like ये जो पूरा expansion का जो phase था like colonialism and everything like people were just understanding it somewhere around like 15th century में मिला ना. So Portugal first started out with that.
With colonizing.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think sorry Spain actually started out with that. No, going out they wanted to touch down east because Europe in general were not as good as they did not have an empire as such or a system as such.
Yeah, so, they didn't have resources like to grow. Like
So they were always looking up to the east because there were huge empires that already existed, like Ottoman Empire towards the Middle East that is going on, and probably in India we had another. So they wanted to reach east, and we were all trading amongst each other already. They wanted to cut in. So, but when they tried to go through, now this was a Christian, from the Europe. I mean, it was always Christian influenced. When they were going, they had to east. आने के लिए Middle East. The whole idea of Middle East, ये जो नाम है Middle East, ये कैसा गिरा? Like the Europeans would look towards the east and they would have
ये middle में
है ये first stop में है, so it became Middle East. So that's how it was coined. Like that's like
petrol pump.
पेट्रोल पंप लगता है.
तो सूट भी है और लेंगे
शर्मा भी मिलता है भाई टेक अवे
खजूर वजूर
So that's how the name coined like Middle East. Middle East
is such a fuck all name. Like
Middle East weird. जैसे you told earlier that all of Europeans problem is the world problem, but none of world. तो उन लोग ने अपनी एंगल से देखा कि यार मेरे को ईस्ट जाना है, ईस्ट वहाँ पे है and this is the middle, so it became Middle East. समझ रहा है? And so they were like उन लोग जब वहाँ से आ रहे थे तो these empires did not let them pass through, so they had to go all the way from the crossing the continent of Africa and then reaching up to east.
Oh, okay.
ठीक है, to reach India and all of that. So they started it and they started trading and it started helping them.
Portugal. Just look at the map while you speak.
yeah. I think it was Portugal or Spain who started this, but the point is, then Spain wanted to buy in. So these were finally these two countries who wanted to do this. Now, there's a huge land of mass of land around, and they had to find a sane way to do it. I know, I interjected.
Anyways.
Okay. So, and then apparently the Pope helped them broker this deal, and what they did was, which was very insane, that they actually drew lines on the whole map, that भाई ये लाइन है, यहाँ से ईस्ट तू ले और यहाँ से ये तू ले, वेस्ट में तू जा, स्पेन को बोला कि तू वेस्ट जा, तू
स्पेन में ईस्ट बोला रहेगा ना?
नहीं पोर्चुगल को ईस्ट बोला, स्पेन को बोला वेस्ट जा. That's how Vasco da Gama set towards the west, looking for India, and he reached
towards the east.
Vasco da Gama
to the east.
I'm so sorry. Columbus went towards the west. Earlier conversation. Columbus set sail towards the west, and Vasco da Gama was one of the sailors who set in the whole time towards the east, and he reached India.
Columbus बोला नहीं यही इंडिया है.
Columbus बोला ये इंडिया, वो भी बोल रहा है ये इंडिया.
उसको ऑन द वे पता चला मेरे को बहुत चूतिया बनाया है, इतना चूतिया बनाया मेरे को.
सीन क्या है कि so that's why when you look at eastern countries, like अभी इंडिया में if you see there is no Spanish influence as such, but you will find Pondicherry, you will find these Goa, all these places have a Portuguese influence because Portuguese came before the Brits. So if you look at the Europe, स्पेन और पोर्चुगीज ने पहला चालू किया, then the Great Britain got into this game. ऐसा था. So then Britain came up with this trade का pitch and everything, and they started working with the Indian territories. उन लोग ने ट्रेड चालू किया, ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी वगैरह वगैरह चालू किया, and this fact that Bombay was actually given as a dowry. So that's pretty insane.
They had a dowry system.
So we've influenced them.
Oh wow.
So we've influenced
one of our negative influences.
उन लोग ने भी उठाया. They also wanted something toxic. So
they were toxic people.
Naturally attracted.
Toxicity.
Who is it? Prince Charles II got married to Catherine, who's the sister of this Portuguese king.
Achha.
Right? And in that marriage, like Brit and Portuguese, and Bombay was given off as a dowry. That whole city of Bombay was given to the Britishers as a dowry. Because of course it helped them into trading. Because they wanted to set up ports. They had a port in Kolkata, but if you see, Kolkata is on this side of the country. So wahan se, seaways is a lot longer for them to reach to. So Bombay was on the other side. So this helped them to reach faster. So that's how it was given as a dowry. And the city we know today, that's Churchgate and all of that was developed, whatever it is. That's the root.
Who gave Bombay to dowry to whom?
The Portuguese gave it to the Britishers.
The Portuguese ने
Portuguese पहले से था ना यहाँ पे, उन लोग इंडियन बन चुके थे bro. लुंगी विंगी डाल के घूम रहे थे ना.
So like coming to the point of
influence
of India, influencers, like the first influencers, OG influencers, Indians were the OG influencers. So अभी में like British have like 0.001% of influence across the world civilization. Although we know that हम लोग जो कपड़े पहन रहे in the fashion that we wear it is very British, मतलब very European. But we always like we were the biggest contributor of textile in the world. Okay, वो तो छोटी बात है. तो अपन I have a website which lists down every other contribution that India has.
Read some out.
It is so fucking insane. We should be fucking proud of India being an Indian, but also in a very humble way.
And even if you're not Indian, you should be proud of India because you wouldn't have civilization as you know it if it was not for systems in place, maths, zero,
astrology.
So
astrology.
many of the foundations of modern society, science, medicine, mathematics, metaphysics, religion, and astronomy originated in India. We call India the cradle of human civilization, the birthplace of speech, the mother of history and numerous languages, the grandmother of legends and traditions. Okay, now coming to mathematics, Indians of course invented zero.
Aryabhatta.
And the number system. And the number system in general.
And the number system in general. However, most people think that the Arabic were the people to invent maths.
No.
What?
Yeah, like there's a lot of...
Why the fuck do they suck so much at it? Why?
Let me Google.
So the decimal system, the value of pi, algebra, trigonometry, calculus, and many mathematical concepts were born in India. Okay. The largest number Greeks and Romans used was the 10 to the power of 6. Well before 5000 BC, Indians used to use numbers as big as 10 to the power of 53. So these can't, ये लोग सोच भी नहीं सकते. इतना सोच पहुंच गया है. In fact, the great Albert Einstein once quoted, "We owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discoveries could have been made." So yeah, other than this, there are a lot of
a lot of things. But like, just on the top of my mind, I think I read somewhere that Aristotle came to India to learn the Gurukul system, learned about philosophy, spirituality, took it back. There are stories that say that Jesus got enlightened in Kashmir. Jesus came to Kashmir to get enlightened. Even then, he couldn't reach all the way, and he reached a certain level of enlightenment, and that's when he took it back, and then he set up the whole Christianity religion. And there are places in Kashmir that have clearly demarcated that Jesus was here. Yeah, the literal places in Kashmir, there are caves where he meditated, were still marked. Jesus meditated here, and it's a very common thing for people in that locality or our ancestors. तो लाइक ब्रो इसकी तरह तो बहुत सारे आके गए, इसने सिर्फ बिजनेस अच्छा चालू किया, इसने धंधा बस चालू किया इसने, but there are many people like him who came, got enlightened and then went. Even so many stories, yeah, like we were talking, Zen meditation that has reached China came from Dhyan meditation. All of martial arts has come from Kalaripattu from Kerala. So it's insane, bro. Like, you know, sometimes when you talk about these things, it feels almost unbelievable.
Yeah,
like it feels like you're too nationalistic to say, but these are the facts.
Yeah, bro. The concept of gravity came. So.
And okay, sorry. Just one last thing. The concept of gravity came from India, and it took Americans to make a movie called Gravity at a budget more than it took Indians to reach Mars.
Oh yeah. So some of Europe's greatest discoveries were first made in India thousands of years earlier. Of course, before Europe
it's
even
like existed and we forgot also. Like what?
And this is before Europe even existed. Okay. Gravity, for example, it was not Isaac Newton but an Indian named Brahmagupta who explained gravity 1,000 years before British Empire emerged.
And I think it's the land also. Like it's just like
energies.
The gifted land. We now we're taking credit for so many things because the world works like that. Yeah. But at one point we were just gifted and we were like, please come, experience and learn whatever because we came here before you, we can tell you what it is. That's all it was. Then
it's like 2 दिन तो गुजरात में.
But I think when we talk about colonialism also, no, it all starts from the fact that there is no resistance.
That is
because it's that attitude. No, okay, bro, we have so much. Please come and share it with us. Like even native Indians, Atiti Deva Bhava, always. Even the native Indians, when ye chutiya gaya udhar Columbus, they were like, you can take what you want. I mean, their concept was like Bill Hicks, this late legend. He was talking about the story. It's like, what do you mean you want it? Like, you can use it. Like, there's corn growing to kha. Like, no, we want this land.
This is mine.
They're like, what do you mean you want?
Demarking it.
Yeah, because they wanted to own it.
Own it, yeah.
And the Native Americans are there's no concept of ownership. We were born here, we're gonna go back inside.
Yeah.
What do you mean you want? It's like, no, we want it. And that's when that's just the attitude.
That is a very good
But philosophy. The point is this no resistance wala part is something that we have to learn, because in Marathi, one of my Marathi sirs used to always tell, it was very nice. Like, one of the things that he taught and a liner that he said was, Jo Rashtra apna itihas vasto, toch vasto. So, like, you know, so I was like, यार ये जो no resistance वाला part है ना, ये अपने को सीखना है, और आज के time में भी even in our country, even now, it's very relevant.
Yeah, we can't say no.
The fact that there is no resistance with things is where things start going down south. Currently where we are right now, you know what I'm trying to say, but I can't say it.
Exactly.
But it's a democratic place.
He does not agree to it, but
no, I didn't understand what he's saying.
Okay, then we'll talk about it later. So Amitabh had to make a whole movie say that no ek shabd hai.
No means no.
No means no. Well, I mean, I think Indians, like when it comes to, let's say, an organization, Indians as an employee also, we find it really hard to say no to anything. मतलब एक job दे दिया out of your syllabus. तुम लोग नहीं बोल सकते नो यार. मतलब you are like really looked. I think that's a Japanese culture also. Ki we
No,
cannot
it's a
say.
very Indian. Japanese got it from Indians, bro. That the juk ke gaan mara do khud ki. That's why when we go to all these countries, that's why we are exploited so easily, bro.
Exactly.
Like in the hospitality industry, in this and that, like waiters, dishwashers, you just keep dumping it. You dump it. 14-hour shifts, हाँ कर लेगा. तू दे दे $12 per hour. गोरे को तू 17 दे रहा है, 18 दे रहा है, हमको दे दे $12, हम लोग कर लेगा. It's just that fucking attitude, bro. And
we are like करना तो पड़ेगा.
पड़ेगा.
तुम लोग देना तो पड़ेगा. हाँ, कुछ करते ब्रो ऐसी है.
We couldn't say no to each other. हाँ करते ना. I think that's a brilliant attitude to have. It's just that the times we live in.
No, but
I think
it's not a brilliant idea, right?
The concept of boundaries is important.
Exactly. Well, you have to say no when it's the right time.
Bro, yes, वो जो movie था Jim Carrey का Yes Man.
Yes, Man.
That's very relevant to this topic, and I think it is inherently a brilliant attitude to have, to say yes to things, because you get to learn, experience, and grow the fastest when you keep saying yes.
Yes.
But now you can't do that because things are very fragile and things are very layered and people want to cut you.
The point is, now there are a lot of things. Everything is so layered that you can say yes to things, and then but you have to figure out the fact that, or you have to understand the fact that this can also eat you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So if you can resist that, do it.
Yeah.
But
and if
you
you're
think
that
that
strong,
it's going to,
if you're that strong,
yeah.
also.
If you think that it's going to eat you up, like really fuck you up, then you should have the balls to say that. There are a lot of people who get eaten up. They know that this shit is fucking hampering everything that is in my life, but they still go with it.
Yeah.
उन लोगों को लगता है कि there is no other way. वो सबसे बड़ा fuck all चीज़ है कि there is no other way.
Yeah.
मतलब like the government also कि there is no other way. वो भी है कि
you can win, but I can buy you. I keep forgetting it.
Exactly. Okay. So I think we have covered a lot of shit, right?
Yeah. We have covered a lot of.
I mean, this is a lot of individual point of views also. If you are going to create controversy, this is individual point of view.
Yeah.
But अपने को एक disclaimer डालना चाहिए starting में.
All opinions.
नहीं ये सब अंकित का है opinion. All the places, names,
and even the suggestion of the title
by our director Ankit.
Yes, all the places named do not exist. These are all fictional. Some fictional, bro. Okay.
Who's Jesus?
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Rocky sound. Hey Jesus. Jai Jesus.
Jejibus.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
how do we conclude this topic?
What are our own takings with the whole episode? Like, let's.
For me, because
For
I
you.
like revisited the whole Sashi Tharoor video, and there's a very good thing that is said. Ki whatever happened. Okay.
Right.
The current Britishers cannot be blamed. I mean,
Of course not. We're not blaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like we can ask for reparations, we can ask for apology
or
and
some
falating,
shit like
that is there. But we are again Indians, natively Indians. What we do best is we teach the world. Okay. So what we can do is forgive but not forget.
We
can
can't
just
forget.
forget.
We cannot forget.
We should not forget.
We cannot forget.
What are the learnings like with this topic that we had to do today? We all spent a little bit of time researching.
Dowry thing, and so that's interesting, but that's literally it. Like I'm just, it's so tiny. I'm already refueled by the fact that we have
So much
we have started the world, like civilization. Even though they say the civilization started from the Sumerian culture from Iran, what is modern day Iran. I'm sure it started from there, but India is the land sone ki chidiya. So it hai, but lost in the picture.
Sone ki chidiya is currently Africa. Just they do not know about it. They are not told. Ki tu sone ki chidiya.
No, but I meant sone ki chidiya, not just like resources, not just material resources wise, but knowledge wise. In every sense. I'm always like in my head, that word is always, those three words are always stuck. So that's it. I mean, like
also a lot of after researching also there are a lot of pride that came into it.
Yeah, man. Naturally pride
born
comes.
in the right land. Just that not the right time. But that's why
I think it's never the right time.
It's never the right time.
And I
when
guess
it is the right time, you don't know that it is the right time.
I guess you can call me delusional, but I always think I'm living in the right time. Because I have no choice.
I'll call you
I am alive, I am in the right time.
Mr. Delusion.
I think
yeah, Mr. Delusional, you can call it what you want to call it, but I think I'm always in the right time because my soul is going through progressions of life and I'm very happy to be alive. And we are living in Kalyug. Like, I don't know if you guys resonate with that, but even...
I know, yeah, I do.
Yeah, so we are living in core Kalyug. And
this is a very good topic I discussed yesterday with training. We should stop it here. We'll
yeah.
discuss it.
We should
get
it. We should get into that next.
So I've also done like my research like in the last few hours. And what I've
You've basically been listening to us discussing shit and Ankit.
And plus like I've had whatever the us thing, but I did not, you know how I am, I don't put in a lot of efforts into preparing things.
It's not something to be proud of, like.
Yeah, but then I'm just accepting of myself.
Fair enough, we'll give you that.
No, but it was nice, like I realized few basic things that, I mean, things that you already knew and
just reaffirm
those things that we were amazing, we are still amazing, and I really enjoyed reading more about the whole. There are so many things that I read. It's just that वो अपने topic से related नहीं था. Like I digressed from the whole research thing. I went into the colonialism part, the whole expanding part, 15th century, these countries, Europe, that, and I left the whole India part out of that. But then I was so fascinated by this, you know, like how countries, they want to establish a might by acquiring land. वो जो lust था of all those centuries, that was very nice to look into. Second thing what I realized is that ये सब उन लोग कर पाए because people agreed to. That was my basic drawing from this research कि यार you have to resist to the things that you don't like. ये मेरा takeaway है from this whole episode.
Consent लो, consent दो.
हाँ, वरना it will always be
That's
bad.
pretty intense, yeah.
Plus I struggled really hard keeping a straight face every time I had spoken about the naval, army, royal. I can't keep a straight face with the word naval, man. Yeah. My sex name would be the naval officer.
So yeah, we'll cut that out.
Okay. So anyways, should we wrap it?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. So this was very nice. So we've been doing this is our 4th episode. The first 3 episodes have been pretty light, and
please go do check them out.
Yeah,
there is no connection, but they are just different universes in themselves.
Yeah.
Do check them out and subscribe. Please do subscribe.
We see a lot of you are watching, but not
subscribing. Like what?
I like this YouTuber that I follow, the Deshbhakt. Okay, and I like his tagline where he always says, "Neta type आधा काम मत करो, subscribe के साथ bell icon दबाओ." So nice, no? Nicely put.
अभिजीत भट्टाचार्य.
हाँ, it's so nice that guys. Anyway, that's later.
Yeah.
But one thing that we notice is the first 3 episodes that we've done has always been light topics. Not light, light topics नहीं बोलूँगा, but
random
conversation. We try to do something different.
We've been true to ourselves, but still random.
And that was the point. And this time we've tried to do something different.
Yeah.
So do let us know if that works for you. That's more important.
मेरी देश की धरती. मेरी देश की धरती सोना उगले उगले हीरे मोती. मेरी देश की धरती. देश की धरती. देश की धरती. देश की देश की देश की देश देश की धरती. देश की देश की देश की धरती.